Ooh, that's my dad. Please go off my live, Dad. Please get off my live. Talking about, that's my dad. Please go off my live. The last time I seen my baby was December 31st. That was the last day I seen my baby. The last time, y'all. The last time. And I'm never gonna see her again.
DeAsia Green, a 15-year-old young lady from Toledo, Ohio, was a freshman at Start High School. She was the oldest child to her mother and the only child to her father. When she was just 3 years old, sadly, her dad, DeAndre Green, was shot in the chest and thigh on October 17, 2010, while he was getting in his car on the 300 block of Phillips near North Detroit Road. He was inside the 5 Point neighborhood. It was around 3:30 a.m. and he was leaving CJ's bar. Police said there were no reports of arguments leading up to the shooting, but believe someone has answers and witnessed the crime, but everyone who heard the shots claimed that they did not witness what actually happened. DeAndre Green's case has now been cold for over 12 years with no current leads. Going forward, DeAsia will grow into a beautiful young lady, and her mother's husband, the man she calls dad, says she carried herself as a true young lady and she had big goals. He never saw a 15-year-old do hair so well, and that she was just simply smart and intelligent. On December 31st, 2022, DeAsia was said to have left home and was going to be staying with a friend for a few days. Her family said they planned to pick her up from the friend's house on January 3rd. When they went there at that time, she was not there. During the period DeAsia was missing, the family said they exchanged text messages with her, but didn't have contact with her on the phone. However, this was not her first time missing, and her parents had been having issues with her disappearing multiple times in the past. Toledo Police Sergeant Mike Crugan said DeAsia had run away before in the past, but her family contacted the police and said that they had an intuition that this was a little different than the past times. According to DeAsia's mother, she was contacted on Facebook Messenger out of the blue by someone by the name of TNS No Talking, who said that DeAsia had came over for a little bit. They talked, but then she had eventually left with a young man named Tez. Tez then would later add TNS No Talking in a message that DeAsia got shot, and they wanted to see if she was okay because they did not want to be the last time they heard from her. Her mother would reply, "Who is Tez?" She needed to know ASAP and asked why would they say something like that. TNS No Talk will go on to say that they would show DeAsia's mother the Facebook page that sent it to them. The page was created the same day and was only following DeAsia's mother. The name was Rundown Tez, and the post said, "Man, we got shot at. She got in the way. It is what it is. No cap." How could someone be so heartless and so cold? At this point, multiple family members and friends are all trying to figure out what is going on and asking for a location on Rundown Tez's page. Police and the family will put tips together as they came in, and on January 9, 2023, 4 days after being reported missing, tragically the police and her parents would find the teen in the back of an alley, shot to death.
Continuing coverage now of breaking news after that 15-year-old girl was found dead in a North Toledo alley yesterday. Police identifying her as DeAsia Green.
They say she was shot, and they are investigating her death as a homicide tonight.
Showing no respect for that person's life and what they meant to their family and what they meant to the people that love them, to just leave them in an alley. I mean, words can't describe how upsetting that is. And again, like I mentioned, think about that and think about if that was someone you love, and you would hope and pray that someone would come forward with information. And that's all that we're asking for.
It is definitely a tragic blow to the family, who did their best to help the teen when she would go missing in times past. According to news reports, Just less than a year ago, DeAsia's parents had put her in a tough love program to help with making better choices and be accountable.
Well, Mel, Jeff, as you said, I talked with a local activist, and despite his efforts to help, he is also mourning DeAsia's death tonight. The death of 15-year-old DeAsia Green has community activists like Sean Mahone Sr. preaching accountability.
The reason why a lot of the violence is taking place with our youth because there is no accountability. And unfortunately, the parents have to suffer behind that.
Mahone uses boot camp programs to help the kids who he says make unhealthy choices in life. He says there needs to be a buy-in by the parents and the kids. He says Green was an alum of one of his programs less than a year ago and says it hurt seeing her as a victim of homicide.
No kid should ever be murdered, let alone thrown in the alley like junk. At this time, the police have not identified any suspects, and the circumstances surrounding her death are unclear. My heart definitely goes out to the family in this tough time, and I pray that full justice is served for DeAsia and her father's cold case. She had her whole life ahead of her, and now that all has been stolen away. Please comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in this difficult time, and hit the like button to share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.